So, physiology of hearing. As we discussed yesterday, the structure of ear, right? In the ear, there are three parts: outer, middle, and inner ear, right? And we have also learned about that how the sound wave goes from outer to inner ear, right? So, this is the detailed version of that which we discussed yesterday, right? So, first point is sound waves are transformed into mechanical vibration in the middle ear, which then create waves in the cochlear fluid, which means that firstly sound wave come from the outer ear, then in the middle ear it amplifies. We have seen that in the middle ear there are some muscles and some bones which basically control the loudness of sound, right? They amplify that sound and then transmit it to the inner ear so that our ear do not harm, right? So, in the cochlear region, there is a hair cells. Okay, in that area, basically in the inner ear, right? In the inner ear, we have certain cells which are very sensitive, which are sensitive to sound. Fine. So those here perceive the sound and then they change the sound into the electrical impulse. Then that, or we can say action potential, right? Electrical impulse or action potential means same here, right? So the sound wave converted to the electrical impulse and then transmitted by the nerves to brain, and then our brain interpret that sound according to the frequency. There is our inner ear differentiate between the different type of frequency that our brain perceive and react according to that. So here is the brain interpret these signal as pitch, volume, and timbre. We have we discussed all those elements of sound, right? Pitch, volume, and timbre in our last class. So here is a general point that human ear is capable of hearing sound waves ranging from 20 to 20,000 hertz. Hertz is the unit of frequency. So we can able to hear this sound only, right? Below 20 hertz we can't hear, and above 20,000 hertz we also can't hear. But there are some mammals have capacity to hear the sound waves. Sorry, the range above than 20,000 hertz or below than 20 hertz, right? For example, like whales, dolphin, these mammals can hear ultrasonic sound, right? Up to 1,50,000 hertz, right? And elephant can also hear infrasonic sound. Infrasonic are below 20 hertz. Ultrasonic are above 20 hertz. Oh, sorry, above 20,000 hertz. Fine. Some animal can perceive them.
So, the bats also can be hearing the ultrasonic.
Bats. Are you saying bat now? Yes, yes. Bat also perceive ultrasonic sound, and even bats, क्या कहते हैं इसको? Sorry. Well, bat travel by the ultrasonic sound actually, because in the night he
Yeah,
can't.
with the help of the echo.
Yes,
Because
in
it's a
night
blind.
it can't see, but because of that ultrasonic sound, they strike and reflect back, and then bat find its path, and also
Yeah,
it's
with the
a
echo.
predator prey. Okay. So now sound transmission and mechanism processing. Here is a detailed version. Although I have tell you I have tell you in the simple way. Now let's read this detailed version. Okay. So sound transmission and the mechanical processing. The hearing processes begin with the acoustic energy. Acoustic energy is basically the sound wave, right? The sound wave present in the environment. Okay. Begin with the acoustic energy in the environment. These sound waves are collected and funneled by the outer ear. As we know the structure of outer ear, the structure of outer ear, which is pinna. Pinna is designed like that so that it collects the sound wave in a it is designed like a funnel form, right? So that it collect the sound wave and then transmit it toward the external auditory canal, right? So these sound waves are collected and funneled by the outer ear, that is pinna, and external auditory canal toward the tympanic membrane, or we can call eardrum, right? Then those sound wave goes to our tympanic membrane. In the tympanic membrane, now vibration start, and we have discussed how sound travel. Sound travel with the two things. That one thing is rarefaction, and another one is, just tell me how sound travel. We have discussed that, na?
Yeah, sound is traveling with the help of creating the waves and frequency
Right,
in
but
the
I
air.
have mentioned two things there.
Sorry, two.
The compression and
Ampli compression and sorry, I didn't understand
Mr.
the
Shrikant.
question actually.
Sorry, I don't remember actually.
I didn't
Can you explain,
understand the
please?
question.
Can you explain,
The
please?
problem.
How the sound travels in the air?
Right.
Yes. Sound is traveling through the
In
creating
waveform.
amplify ampli
Okay,
Can you
I will tell
explain,
you.
please, one more time?
Okay, then I will. It's okay. Just a minute.
Oops, I think
I just
Shruti has not
lost my
yet
pen.
joined. Okay.
Okay, let's see. So sound travels generally with the two. Basically, sound propagate in the form of wave. But how that wave form? So wave form because of two. There is a there is two character of the sound. First, sound that compress, right? Suppose it is a source of sound, right? From this source, this source produce sound. Now the particle of nearby environment just get energy, because sound is a form of energy, right? So they get energy and then compressed, right? They come together. That is known as the compression. Okay. These particles, when they perceive sound energy from the source, they get compressed. Fine. And then the energy is transmitted to the other particle. So these particles get refracted. Refracted matlab, there is rarefacted. Rarefacted matlab, they just opposite to the compression, right? They get rarefacted. Fine. Not getting. Okay,
There is a compression and the
rarefaction.
expansion happen.
Right.
Expansion.
Expansion, we can say, actually expansion is a word for when the particle, we can say expansion.
Then
Right?
what we can say? Rarefaction.
Right. Rarefaction is the scientific term for that.
What's the spelling of the rarefaction?
I will write. This part is compression, and this part is rarefacti. Okay. So sound travel like this. Now I'm see, from our outer ear, sound travel like this. So it come to the auditory canal in this manner. Now this strike with our tympanic membrane. So it produce vibration in the tympanic membrane. Okay, in the eardrum.
Okay.
Like this, I will draw a diagram here. Suppose this is my outer ear. This is the auditory canal, right? Here is my tympanic membrane. So a sound wave comes like this. This is the compression region, and this is suppose my rarefaction region, right? Then फिर again compress, then फिर rarefaction, compression, rarefaction, then compression, and then it transmit to the tympanic membrane. Fine. Now there is a vibration in the tympanic membrane. Okay. Now this vibration, the vibration of the eardrum, are then transmitted through the ossicular chain in the middle ear. There, now the middle ear is, in the middle ear there is 3 bones which are known as ossicular chain, right? Arrangement of 3 bones is known as ossicular chain. Okay, and these bones are known as ossicles. Right? So these 3 bones perceive that vibration. Okay, and then the vibration transmitted from these bones to the inner ear. Here, the amplitude of that vibration is maintained. Right? Here are 2 muscles also present, which help in the maintaining the amplitude or the loudness of the sound waves. Okay, if there is a too loud sound coming in my ear, that these bones and muscles present here help in lowering that loudness of this sound. Why? Because they can harm my inner ear. Okay, so there is mechanism already present. Still, we are getting the louder volume more than the controlling more than that is if it can't control by my inner ear, middle ear, then my ear get harmed. But my body is designed in that manner that we can't perceive louder sound. Okay, fine. That's why we can't able to hear sound more than about 20,000 hertz, because our ear is designed like that. Okay. So from here, the amplification of sound takes place. Then this vibration. Here is the name of 3 bones are mentioned. That is malleus, which is in the common language known as hammer also. Incus, that is known as anvil. And the stapes is known as sternum. Okay, stapes is the smallest bone in the body as well. Right? Now the ossicle acts as a mechanical amplifier. I have told you that this amplify the sound, increasing the force of sound vibration by protecting the inner ear for excessively loud sound. They increase the vibration so that vibration can transmit it to the inner ear, right? Because by striking many times, the vibration get vibration get decreased. But these 3 won't help in the increasing the vibration so that my inner ear can receive that vibration. But still, they maintain the loud. They also regulate the loudness of the sound along with the vibration. Right? So, from excessively loud sound, we are the acoustic reflex mediated by the stapedius muscles. So there are some muscles I have told you in the previous class. They help in both to maintain both things, the loudness and the vibration. Okay. Now the stapes. Here I have drawn the stapes. I will draw in a different color, that is in the yellow color. Okay. This. Fine. So this the stapes contact the oval window of the cochlear inner ear. Here is our just a minute. Here is our cochlear region. Like this. Okay. So from here, this is that part is in the concave part. Sorry, oval window. Here is the oval window. Now the vibration perceived by the inner ear. Okay, in that cochlear region. Fine. Now from the cochlear region, the vibration travel. In this cochlear region, what happened? We will see. The stapes contact the oval window of the cochlear inner ear, where a mechanical energy is converted into the fluid waves within the perilymph and the endolymph of the cochlear duct. In the cochlear duct, there are two lymph present. Lymph is a semi-liquid type substance. Okay, that is the perilymph and the endolymph. In this part, these mechanical wave converted to the fluid waves, because in that part there is a semi-fluid like substances present. So that mechanical sound which are traveled by the vibrating the air particle now converted to the fluid wave. Okay, am I clear? Okay, fine. Then
Yes.
now cochlear transduction. Now what happened in the cochlear transduction? Okay, let's discuss about this. So mechanical to the electrical energy. Now how the mechanical waves converted to, we have seen that mechanical wave converted to the fluid waves, and then fluid wave converted to the electrical energy. Okay, so how this happened? Inside the cochlear, a snail-shaped structure we have seen here. That is a snail-shaped structure. In the temporal bone, the basilar membrane play a key role in frequency discrimination. The membrane's stiffness and width vary along its length, because in this region, in this snail-like region, there is a difference in the width and length. Okay, so due to this width, or length, difference in the width or length, the membrane can identify different frequency. Okay, because of different length. Because if there is a different width or different length, then we perceive sound according to that, according to the width and length, right? So our ear can discriminate different frequency by this, because of this structure, right? So width vary along its length, narrow and stiff, and at the base detect higher frequency. Here is mentioned that it is very narrow and stiff at the base. The base part is very narrow and stiff. Why? The apex part of this snail region is wide and flexible at the apex. Okay, so it detects low frequency. When the path is very narrow and stiff, the way is very narrow and stiff, that area detect high frequency, and where the where the where the duct width and length is wide and flexible, that part detect low frequencies. Okay, so by this, our inner ear discriminate between the different frequencies. Okay. Now, located on the basilar membrane is the organ of Corti. Here is the basilar membrane where organ of Corti is present. organ of corti is present, the primary sensory organ for hearing, because in that organ of corti there are two cells, that is inner hair cell I and C, primarily responsible for sound transduction, and then the outer hair cell amplify the fine-tuned sensitivity of the cochlear. Okay, because of these two cells, like in our ear, like in our eye. In our eye, we have the retina membrane. In our eyeball, we have a retina membrane. In that retina membrane, we have two cells, that is rod cell and cone cell. They perceive light. Okay, and then transmit that light to our brain. Like that, in our ear, in the cochlear region, that is the organ of corti present. In that organ of corti, we have two cells, inner hair cell and outer hair cell, which are responsible for the sound transduction and amplification. Right? Now, movement of the basilar membrane causes stereocilia, because the hair is like a cilia. Cilia is just like the hair-like structure present in a tube, present in a canal. Okay, in our body, in our body, in the respiratory tract, cilia are presented. In the fallopian tube, cilia are presented. In our kidney, in the nephron cells, again cilia are presented. Because cilia are just hair-like structure, will help in moving the substances from one place to another. They just like wave. They just form like wave. Okay. I will draw a diagram and then explain. Here is, suppose there is the membrane, base membrane, and in that base membrane, there is here like a structure like that, which are known as cilia. So basically, when the fluid come or air comes, then these cilia help it, these cilia just move. Okay, so that they move the substance coming from one place to another. Right? So in our cochlear region, there is a fluid. So fluid have to be moved. Then only the sound wave transmitted from one to another. No? Right? So that happened in that region. Where we are, causes stereocilia on the hair cell to deflect opening mechanically gated ion channel. When the cilia get deflects on the hair cells, or to deflect the opening of the mechanically gated ion channel. Now the gated ion channel. This is the basically in our membrane, cell membrane, plasma membrane have some channel. This is my cell. And this cell have the plasma membrane. Okay. This plasma membrane have some proteins. They acted like a channel. Our meeting will end in 10 minutes. Then I will again give you the link, because I don't know why the this link not work after it over once. Right. So here are some protein present in the membrane. Right? So these proteins act like a channels, because their protein are able for transportation of one thing to the from one place to another. Okay, basically from insides of this cell to outside the cell, or from outside to inside the cell. Right? Why this happen? This happened because of to generate the action potential. Okay, here see this is the part of the cell signaling. In biology, we learn our topic cell signaling. Okay, but you don't have to learn those parts. But just understand this thing, that when this channel open, then there is a inside the cell, the potassium ion is high in amount. Okay, and outside the sodium ion high in amount. Okay, the concentration of potassium ion is high inside, and concentration of sodium ion is high outside, right? Or in at the outside region, there are lots of positive ions. Okay, so we consider inside the cell there is a negative potential because inside the cell, positive ion are less amount. That's why in comparison from outside to inside, we consider that in inside, because there is a low positive ions, so we consider it negative, and in outside area there are high positive ion, then in the outside area we consider that positive. Okay, so by this the positive and negative terminals are created, right? So when the cilia, now when the deflection occurs in that region, then these channel open. Why this channel opens? So that the sodium ion come inside or some potassium ion outside, goes outside. Sodium potassium channel, we generally call them sodium potassium channel. Okay, they open, and then exchange of sodium potassium occur. So that in this region there is negative and positive. But later, when the channel open, then it can form negative outside and positive inside. Okay, then it is according to the comparison basically. Okay, where the positive ion are high, that is the positive part, and where the positive ion are in low amount, that is the negative part. So in the next cell, maybe here are the negative part, and there the outside part is positive, right? When the signaling is going on from here to here, this going to change. Generally all cell, negative is inside and positive is outside. Okay, but this cell receives signal, so that it open the channel, and that channel cause movement of the movement of the ions from inside to outside and from outside to inside, so that there is a change between the positive and negative, because now this cell get positive inside and that negative outside. But here the already here what happened in this cell? In this cell there is positive part and there is a negative part, right? When it do not receive the signal, so this is the positive part and this is the negative part, but here is the negative. In this cell, change already occurred. Now this cell become the outside region of this cell become negative. So from negative to positive, the signal transmitted, and then in this cell the channel opened, and like this the signal transmitted from one to another, and this is known as the action potential. Am I clear? Okay, so but here is mentioned. See, this leads to depolarization of hair cell and release of the depolarization, and polarization means what I have told you, that is the action potential. Right? So here the depolarization of hair cells and release the neurotransmitter, because this signaling is perceived by neurons. Neurons is the basic unit of our nervous system. Neurons are the cell, or we can call them nerve cells as well. Okay, so I have drawn these cells. Actually, these cells are like that. These are known as neurons. Okay, from this another neuron is attached.
Dendrons.
So in this neuron part, these action potential changes. Here maybe the positive, then negative, then positive, negative, like this. Okay. By this, the signal is transmitted from one to another, and that is known as the polarization and depolarization. Okay. So this lead to depolarization of hair cell and release the neurotransmitter. But see, in the neurons, two type of transmission occur. One is the electric potential and another is the neurotransmission. I can say electric impulses and another is the chemical impulses. So when it perceive the signal, then in this part the electrical impulses occur from head to tail part, or I can say from the dendrites to nerve ending. This region is known as dendrites, or I can just learn with head to tail part, right? So from head to tail part, the signaling occur in the electrical impulse form. Okay, and then when the signaling goes from one nerve to another nerve, then it transmits some chemical. So that because it is not directly attached, but I have to see is what I draw here. Actually, this is not the actual diagram. Here is a gap between two nerves, like this. Okay, so this gap is basically known as synapse. On the by this gap, this neuron transmit chemical to this, and those chemicals are known as neurotransmitters. Okay, now from this neuron to this neuron, the message is passed. Now, when this neuron perceive chemical, then in this neuron the signaling occur, the electrical impulses changes. Okay, and then it transmits that electrical impulse to from perceiving region to the other ending region, and then from ending region it again transmit chemical signal to other. Right. So mostly glutamate. Here is the name of neurotransmitter is mentioned, that is glutamate. Okay, this is the main chemical.
How many neurotransmitters are there?
There are lots of neurotransmitter in our body. There are a lot of neurotransmitter working in different area. Okay, in that ear region there is a glutamate, mostly glutamate, but maybe they other also present. Fine. Okay. So, which stimulates afferent auditory nerve fiber to cochlear nerve. Now, this there is a afferent means coming. The nerve, the area of the nerve which perceive first. Okay, and then the later part is the efferent which is outside. So, afferent and efferent is just the name according to the location.